So hello everyone, this is Lisa Harden coming to you recorded from Boise, Idaho. I am recording this on Monday night, September 19th. Here's the deal. I often talk about cards that I make and then fine-tuning them, rarely throwing them away, always thinking there's a way to fix them if I don't like them. Such is the case with this card. I made this little card last Thursday. I hate to even show it to you. It's all over the place, isn't it? It doesn't really have a focus. It's too busy for me. And actually, when I finished making this on Thursday night, I threw it in the trash. And then the next day, I dug it out. And I thought, now I'm always telling people that everything can be remedied. Even when cards go wrong, you can make them right again. Okay, you rarely need to toss them. There's some good elements here. So I started working on it, and then I realized, hey, why don't I do a video about this? Again, I'm always talking about it. When cards go wrong, what you can do to make them right. Okay, so the first thing I did, without you here, I apologize, but I want to speed this video up a little bit, is I took our spritzer. So this was an image that I watercolored, and it's from the stamp set called Full of Love. Okay. By the way, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I sell all of the products you will see here. So when I refer to something, it's a Stampin' Up! Product. I'd be happy to help you place an order for anything you see. You just need to send me a private message, send me an email, thestampingzoo@outlook.com, or contact me on Facebook, things like that. So happy to help you with that. Okay, so when I colored it, I'm not used to watercoloring. It's not something I normally do. And I wanted to challenge myself, but I didn't practice enough ahead of time. Or maybe I was just thinking about the image and I wasn't really thinking about the whole card. But I can clearly see, to me, these are two different cards. Okay, so the first thing I did is I took one of our spritzers just full of water. I should have taken it off the card first, but it survived. I spritzed it lightly and I dabbed up some of the extra ink, being careful not to mix the inks. Okay, so I sprayed directly down on it, and then I just picked it up directly. And so let's just pretend that I did that for you, okay? I did that because I didn't like the color saturation. It was too much. Okay, so now, here's what we're gonna do. As I stand back and look at this, I gave it a little bit of time, and now I'm like, I can clearly see that this is actually two cute cards, but I mashed too many elements together. It's too busy for my eye. What I'm doing right here is I'm taking my paper snips. I might need my bigger scissors. I put this onto a vellum circle, and then I put it on the front of this card with dimensionals. Well, I don't want to, the dimensionals are adhesive. They're foam with adhesive on both sides of them. And remember, they've been sitting on this card since Thursday. Now, of course, I glued it down really well. That's not the best idea when I'm trying to take it off, but trust me, there's always a way. I don't even know what this is gonna look like. I'm just trying to be careful not to cut through the paper underneath, because what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make two cards out of this one card, because again, to me, it's two different elements that shouldn't have been mashed together. There's too much going on. Okay, so then you see, this is what the back of this looks like, because remember, I wet it down with water, and so you can do that with our Fluid 100 watercolor paper, but vellum doesn't like that. But see, I already knew that I was going to refurbish this thing. Okay, looks better already, doesn't it? Now it's kind of a cute element all of a sudden. This is definitely pretty. This is a technique. Again, as I mentioned, I do go live every Thursday. I'm scheduled every Thursday. Sometimes I need to move it to another day of the week, but I really enjoy my live time. And you are watching me right now on YouTube, and I thank you so much for that. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. We now have 501 subscribers. So pretty soon I'll be able to go live over here. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, I will be happy to go live on YouTube as well. So anyway, when I went live with this, I really, like I said, I threw it in the trash. And actually I texted one of my regular customers and I said, wow, the next time I decide to do some watercoloring, will you please remind me of this card? And she made a very good point, which was, is that what, I said it was ugly. And she said, is that what you would say if I made it? She said, the colors were just too intense. From her opinion, that's what she said. She was like, I think the colors are just too intense. And anyway, I took those words to heart and I was like, you know what? No, that is not what I would tell one of my customers. And in honesty, I wouldn't think the card was ugly. I would see its possibilities. Okay, so let's set this little piece aside and let's work on this guy because this is very close to being finished. I am going to take, this is just going to be this beautiful scrappy strip technique, which was made up, I guess, by Bruno Bertucci, a designer in Australia, a demonstrator, in Australia. He fashioned it after a piece of Aboriginal art that they purchased and had on their wall, I believe. So anyway, he's given us this wonderful idea of how to literally take strips of paper that might be just leftover and turn them into something really fantastic. And in case you don't know, Stampin' Up! Has, I think, the best cardstock and designer series paper in the market. Paper crafters rejoice. So anyway, it only added to the different ways we could use our beautiful designer series paper. So I am using, this card base is Fresh Freesia. I'm using Fresh Freesia cardstock, Fresh Freesia ink. If you are not familiar with Stampin' Up's products, they coordinate that way. So it's very easy to end up with a beautiful card in very little time. Let's see here. This is a cute little stamp set. It is bundled with this really cool punch that will punch this image out. You will see in just a minute. If you purchase things as a bundle in Stampin' Up, you save 10%. So, by the way, if you want to look for this and thousands of other Stampin' Up, quality Stampin' Up products, please just go over to thestampingzoo.com, hit the Shop Now tab, and you will be in my online store, and you can take a look at everything from kits to adhesives to these papers, these stamp sets that I'm working with tonight. Everything that I am working with tonight, again, is available, is current, okay? So let's see. This is a stamp set I really, really love. You can tell. And I'm trying to think like, oh, which one do I want? Maybe I just want the thank you. I am lucky in that I have a lot of opportunities to send out thank yous to my team, to my customers, to my viewers. So I am never going to worry about using a thank you card. Okay, and then again, I'm just sticking with the coordination of the products. And that is beautiful, super easy. And then again, I will take this punch and punch out this really cool shape. Isn't it fun? I love it. Okay. Oh, and the luck would have it, I don't even think I'm going to have to do any cleanup of this. I mean, I can do a little bit, but I'm just kind of taking off some of the foam with my take your pick tool. It definitely comes in handy. We're going to go ahead and put this sentiment up on dimensionals as well. So we may have to place them kind of strategically around what is already here, but it's going to hide everything. So that's perfect. Okay, so here's some dimensionals. Let me see here. We are going to put this right there. Now, this isn't the normal way that I would adhere dimensionals, but I've got to work around, right, what's already there. And I don't want to cause something that has different heights. It'll essentially look like a speed bump. We don't want a speed bump. We just want a cute thank you card. Okay. Ta-da! Just put it down lightly, and then you can go ahead and adhere it once you see that. Oh my gosh. Now let's pick some embellishments. Sorry. Look at all my beautiful embellishments. I love them so much. Okay, so I had originally used the iridescent pearl basic jewels. I might want something a little bit bigger, but yeah, let's try those. So here's kind of the cool thing about the self-adhesive gems. You can usually pick them up. And again, if you use your take your pick tool, you can usually still get the adhesive up with them. And then you can reuse those. So those are probably going to be put on the card that I make with this little watercolored image. Okay. These are some beautiful, obviously, opal rounds, and they have an iridescence as well. A couple different sizes. And so let's see, I am going to, again, I probably will use 3. That is pleasing to the eye, odd numbers. 3 is good enough for me. Oh, hey, look at that. We have a design that is very focused, has lots of shimmer and shine. Uh-oh, we have an issue though. I'm just going to stamp another insert and then glue it over the insert that's in there. So that is actually super easy. Let me go ahead and do that right now. So you know that we have 2 finished cards. I may as well finish it right now. And let's see here. This is, I normally use 3 3/4 by 5. Yep. Looks good. 3 3/4. I am using my great, fantastic little paper trimmer. It has blades that can be, you can purchase replacement blades so you can keep it nice and sharp. It also has a scoring blade, and it has an arm so you can definitely cut your 12 by 12 paper. Okay, and then we are just gonna put this in here. You'll never know. My recipient will never know. And I did use a little bit of liquid glue, so I had a few seconds to kind of move it around. And there we go, folks. Okay, card number 1. All right, now let me bring in card number 2. Okay, so again, to me, it was a little garish. There was a lot going on, and didn't have a good focus. It didn't show off the paper, and it didn't show off my little watercolored image. So let's see if we can do that with this one. I do have, again, I used soft seafoam ink to do my watercoloring. And so I love soft seafoam, the color. So I went ahead and grabbed that as a card base. Something's on there, but that's okay. And I am going to take this and run it through an embossing folder. I wish I were live with you so you could help me choose, but I'm going to have to choose on my own. And like I said, once I get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, then I'll be live with you, and then I can ask your opinion. Okay, so this is going to be tone on tone, right? I'm just looking for texture for this. So here were the three I pulled real quickly. I pulled our 3D brick and mortar. I pulled our Tasteful Texture. And then this new one, which is really fantastic, the Leaf Fall. You know, I immediately am going to go for this because I think the other two, one is too specific and doesn't really go with my theme. And the other one is too bold. I want this one. It just kind of works. Okay, it's a Tasteful Texture. So just off to the side here, I have a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I am running my embossing folder through it. And then that is how we get all this tasteful texture, right? This has actual words on it. I think it's from a poem, like a 19th century poem. So when you are using this, make sure that you have your words right side up, okay? Because they are actual words in there. One of the cool things I think about the Stampin' Up! Products is they pay attention to details like that. And okay, so again, just gonna use the liquid glue. There's a lot of texture here, so I would want to use either my Seal Plus or Tear and Tape or my liquid glue. Okay, now, okay, that looks so much better. It kind of pops, doesn't it? Now let me get the original stamp set. Here we go. One moment. Hopefully I can find it. Uh-oh. I thought it was right back here, but let's see. Here we go. It's a really pretty stamp set. It's a standalone stamp set, so it doesn't come with dies or a punch. It's called Full of Love. Gives you lots of opportunities. Here I've kind of just bubble cut it out of watercolor paper. However, it gives you lots of opportunities to use all of your shapes dies, you know, or your punches. So circles and squares, and we have stitched rectangles. We have all the shapes, okay? So anyway, it's very pretty. All of a sudden, our little image really pops. I am going to put that on with Stampin' Dimensionals as well. And let's see, I'm just looking at, I really like Always Grateful for You. Again, just a cute little sentiment. And I think we can put that on the front, just on a strip of basic white paper. Here's my scraps. You never want to be without some scraps because they're so useful. So again, I probably will trim this down a little bit. Let's see. And again, I'm just going to trim it out, but you could use a little die cut or something like that. Okay. This is like a little less than an inch, probably 7/8. Let's try that. And I might get brave and trim it out further with my scissors, but oh, I'm not so good at that. What I end up doing is I like whittle it down to nothing. Okay, soft seafoam is a light color, right? So I don't necessarily want to stamp my sentiment in it. I want you to be able to read it. So I'm going to choose another one of the colors that I used here. And I'm pretty sure I used Fresh Freesia. So let's just stick with Fresh Freesia. See, I was trying, when I made the original card, I was trying to incorporate this image in by using the colors in the paper. But again, it was just like too much going on. Oh, that's so pretty. I like it. Now the L, I think I pressed a little too hard. So guess what? You just turn it over, give it another try. One thing I say is the smaller the stamp, the lighter the impression. So you don't need to press nearly as hard with these smaller stamps. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do what I call the Lisa Harden cut, which is just a little on the bias. That I know how to do. Okay, I am going to trim this a little bit. This is where the danger starts. Okay, I need to do a little bit more off of this side. The paper trimmer comes in handy, and it can definitely take care of all this. I am just feeling brave. You know, I've made a cool card, so now I'm feeling it. Okay, again, dimensionals, like I said, we sell these in white and black. You can get dimensional sheets that are solid sheets, so you can die cut your image and have a full piece of dimensional if you want. We also have foam adhesive strips for shaker cards. So we have all the adhesives, and it's definitely a basic in paper crafting, but it's an important basic because the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of time making a beautiful card and then have it fall apart in the mail, right? That doesn't sound so great. So I did use several Stampin' Dimensionals on that because I've got this on watercolor paper, right? And then I think I will just put this down directly. So like this. Always grateful for you. And I'm very grateful for my viewers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, let's go back to these iridescent pearl basic jewels. We've already got one sitting down there, right? So these are gorgeous as well. 2 different sizes. Again, you get a lot of them. So they go with, they go with lots of different things. And if you get tired of just using them as the regular color, let me show you a little trick. You can take any of our Stampin' Blends alcohol-based markers, and I like to use the paintbrush end, the big, the more bold point, and just be careful so you don't break the paintbrush end, but you can color these, and it needs to be with the Stampin' Blend alcohol markers. If you use water-based, it won't set. And then you just make any color you want, right? So there's more. That's just another example of Stampin' Up's fantastic coordination. And you can do that with lots of our embellishments and lots of our ribbons. So, okay, friends, look at that. So I used the Full of Love stamp set, and I used the Lovely and Lasting stamp set with Punch. And I took this card that I made last Thursday that was kind of meh. You know, I threw it in the trash, so I didn't have anything to lose. And I got these 2 cards, and I have to say, I mean, you can tell me in the comments, but I think it's definitely a thumbs up improvement. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this video, again, please like, share, and subscribe. And also leave me a comment. You know, it makes me really happy to be able to visit with all of you and just find out, like, what you like. What did you like about the video? Or which card's your favorite? So anyway, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.